You're heading off on a dream Lapland holiday. Don't risk it turning into a nightmare by taking the wrong gear. We'll guide you on how to dress and how to save money when getting kitted out. Hopefully you've already saved some money when booking your trip and got some great inspiration from our Lapland travel tips video. If not, the link is in the description. And we're not just going to talk about clothing, because there are other things that you might not think to pack that will really make it a trip to remember. Now a quick point about the cold in Lapland. It's a dry cold, so -10 over there is nowhere near as bad as -10 would feel here in the UK. We visited Lapland for 11 nights over New Year and had temperatures ranging from 0 to -30. So you adapt what you wear when you're out there and go prepared. I'm first going to talk through the basic layering system, then I'm going to show you how you can up that for colder days, or for activities where there'll be wind chill, or for those of you like me who really feel the cold. It's all about layering, so let's start with the basics. You'll need thermal base layers. These are like a second skin, keeping you warm but also wicking away sweat because you want to keep your body dry, otherwise you'll get cold. We like to shop at Decathlon, which has a wide range of base layers and they state the warmth rating. Merino wool base layers are really great, but the cheaper polyester ones are fine too. Next is the Midlayer, like a fleece. On warmer days we don't bother with the Midlayer bottoms, but if you want to, joggers or fleecy pyjama bottoms will be fine. Then the outer layer, ski pants or sallopettes, and a ski jacket. You can get all-in-ones, which look super cute on children, and they're also quite practical because when they're rolling around in the snow or falling over on the ski slopes, it stops snow going up their backs. Toilet trips are a bit of a faff but manageable. Braces are a good option too, including for adults who are new to skiing or who plan on doing lots of sledging and rolling around in the snow. So that's the body covered, but hands, feet and head are the most important. Mittens are much better than gloves as your fingers share warmth. And it's important to have wiggle room, as that airspace between your fingers and the material will heat up and provide warmth. Also, you might be putting glove liners underneath or hand warmers, both of which I'll get to later. So make sure the mittens are a bit bigger and definitely not tight. The further up the wrist they go, the better, especially for kids as they constantly have their hands in the snow. Mittens with straps are useful so you don't end up dropping them and getting them wet, or even worse, losing them. We always have spare mittens with us on days out for those reasons. You'll need a warm hat and neck warmer, snood or balaclava. Basically something to act as a stopper around your neck to prevent warmth escaping from your body and to give you something to cover your face as your nose can get really cold. You'll need ski socks or thick merino wool socks. Note, not all merino wool socks are the same. You need to look at the percentage of wool. Some only have a really tiny amount. Snow boots. Most importantly, you need wiggle room. Again, because the air heats up and keeps your feet toasty. You need to try them on with your ski socks and a second pair of socks, like sock liners, which I'll cover shortly. When choosing boots, you need to look for water protection, thermal lining, traction on the sole because it could be icy. Look for thick rubber soles, because no matter how warm your boots are, you need a deep quality sole. Now I'll show you how you can dress for when you need to be extra warm and things to throw in your rucksack on days out, just in case you're cold. Before putting on ski socks, we wear liner socks. Never be tempted to just put on a pair of cotton socks under ski socks. Cotton isn't good for cold climates. It doesn't wick away moisture. So anything that's going to be touching your skin, like base layers, glove liners, socks, avoid cotton. Merino wool is great and often found in liner socks. For extra warmth, we wear mid-layer bottoms on top of our base layer leggings. Over our mid-layer top, we wear a gilet. Down gilets are amazing. They are so warm and packed down really small so you can have them in your rucksack just in case. Full balaclavas are good protection for when the cold bites. And we wear glove liners under our mittens. Silk are good, as are ones that contain merino wool. And if you're wanting to take photos on your phone, get touchscreen gloves. Glove liners are great for when you need to take your mittens off. I highly recommend taking hand and foot warmers and keeping them in your rucksack or pocket for when your mittens and glove liners aren't cutting it. Just make sure you follow the activation instructions of the brand you are using. You then pop them in your mittens and boots. They last for up to 10 hours depending on the brand and the conditions. I have Raynauds phenomenon or syndrome, which affects blood circulation, so my fingers and toes get really cold, they get sore, they change colour, and it can be quite miserable. So I actually use heated socks and mittens in really cold temperatures, and they are a complete game changer. There have also been many occasions when skiing and when we were in Lapland where we've forgotten the hand warmers and one of the boys is suffering with cold hands, so they stick them in my gloves for instant relief. You choose the heat setting you want and the battery lasts a few hours, depending on conditions. You charge them up and they're ready to go again. They are really warm mittens even when I don't have them switched on. The links to these are in the description. I should point out that there are companies in Lapland where you can hire snowsuits and boots, because many holiday companies include suit hire. If you are thinking of paying extra to hire the suits and boots, do consider buying ski gear second hand. It's often only been worn for a week, and if you don't think you'll ever wear it again, you can resell it. So it could cost you nothing in the end to get kitted out. Check out eBay, Vinted, any second-hand sites, and don't forget charity shops. You can get great mittens and boots second-hand too, even Baselayers. If you don't want second-hand, try to buy at the end of season if you want to save money. If you're watching what you spend, we highly recommend buying great quality, great outdoor brands second-hand, over buying low quality new, because warm families are happy families in Lapland. Don't be tempted to overbuy and overpack. Children tend to be fine re-wearing base layers, and you can hand or machine wash and dry in your room. Every chalet and apartment we stayed in had a heated drying cupboard, because when you come in from the snow, things are wet, so you just pop them in there. If you haven't been on a winter holiday, you might be wondering what you wear in restaurants and when you're inside. In restaurants, it's fine to wear your base layers, it's just what you do. Although we often stay in our ski pants and take our coat and mid-layer tops off. It's usually really warm indoors, especially in your accommodation. Because the rooms are warm, a tip for making mornings a bit more stress-free is for adults to put their gear on last. You don't want to be chasing children around trying to get umpteen layers on them while you're sweating dressed as a Michelin man. Moving on from clothes, there are a few extra things you can pack for Lapland that your children will really thank you for. Extendable toasting forks. We use them daily because there are coaters, wooden barbecue huts dotted around, and you just pop in, warm up, toast marshmallows and sausages. These are pre-cooked and they sell them in all the shops. There are even coaters on the ski slopes. We took a bag of marshmallows over to Finland with us so that we would have some for the first day, and then we bought them after that. We spent 5 nights of our 11-night Lapland trip in Levi, and at 0 point, at the end of the day when the ski lifts have closed, people sledged down the ski slopes. Now I'm not encouraging it as I don't even know if it's allowed, but lots of people do it and we did. The lights do get switched off and it becomes hard to spot your children and to see in fact. Even if you aren't going to be sledging down Levi's ski slopes, head torches and dog collar lights can still be useful, as there are very few hours of daylight in winter. Don't be thinking it's pitch black all the time though, as remember the snow is reflective, so you can see well enough. But for the hours when it is really dark, a head torch and lights for your ski jacket can be useful. We took thermal flasks, which were great for days out, and we even took them for the children for their hot chocolate. You just have to be extra careful and make sure the drinks aren't too hot. Having sweets or snacks in your rucksack won't keep children warm, but you can distract them, cheer them up, and use them as prizes for the most star jumps, which will keep them warm. A couple of bonus tips. To preserve battery life in your phone, keep it somewhere warm and wrapped up, like an inside pocket. Or you could put it in a ski sock inside your outside pocket, and make sure you've downloaded an app to alert you to the best times to look for the northern lights. We use the My Aurora app. Again, the links to what I've talked about are in the description, including our Lapland travel tips video. If you have any questions, pop them in the comments and we'll try to answer them. Or if you have any other suggestions on what to take, pop them there too so others can benefit. We appreciate and love to hear from every single subscriber, so please subscribe to our channel Family Tripping for more travel tips and inspiration. And you can find us on Instagram, Facebook and TikTok.